Okay, it's February 1st and we're out for chores. It's a gross day. It's been really windy in our area, which is nothing too uncommon, but I think we would both say that the last 2 nights has been some of the worst that we've seen. I don't know what they've clocked it at. I would say at least like 180 clicks, like kilometers, which would be around 120 miles an hour. It was crazy, like you can't sleep all night. But anyways, so we're just out getting chores done. Because of that wind and the Chinook that comes along with it is a temperature rise, so it's really muddy and gross. But it's just Bobby and I today, and Jackson Wade came with us as well because the girls stayed inside because it's so nasty out.
I think the frost is coming out of the ground.
But yeah, the frost, it's January and it feels like the frost is coming out of the ground, which is very weird, but I can't say that I'm complaining because there's not 3 feet of snow. But we are in our, what, 1995 Dodge 3/4 ton Cummins feed truck that is a trusty old girl with a Falcon feed deck that has bale arms that work independently of each other, but that's a whole nother story. It really only is an issue when I'm feeding, not when Bobby's feeding. Right now we have our cows in 3 separate groups. The replacement heifers, what we call our young cows, and our old cow group. The young cows are first and second calvers, first and second calvers, 2s and 3-year-olds. And we keep all those separate because young cows typically need a little bit more attention. Not only do they need sometimes more feed and to just be spoiled a little bit more that way, but
it's because they're still growing.
Yeah, because they're still growing, and
we expect them to have a calf, having
a calf, and producing milk, and all the things. Another reason is because when calving does roll around, we start on April 1st. When calving does roll around, we have to be able to watch them closer. So we'll keep you tuned. We'll keep you updated, because we're going to bring that group of our young cows closer to home, because they have to be checked a lot more because they're more prone to calving problems and mothering problems.
We calve the old cows about 8 miles away, so they don't get checked quite as much.
No, it's not super ideal, but it makes it so our cows have to be independent and good moms, and if they're not, they don't stay around, because we don't have the time or resources to deal with a cow that's a problem, because we want them to have that calf on their own and raise it on their own. And for the most part, because of that method, our cows are pretty dang good that way, unless bad weather rolls around, but that's another talk for another day. So we're just grabbing some bales for the old cows. Bobby's cussing because it's really muddy. We feed our old cows here on one of our biggest hayfield, I guess. And the reason that we do that is because it kind of acts as a self-fertilizer. And it ends up being quite good for the land. So that's what we're doing, but it's a bit of an issue right now because it's really wet. So we're gonna have to be careful with where we drive, because we're making huge ruts. But anyways, so we feed our cows a ration of alfalfa hay. Yep. And we also had a sweet clover hay.
Yeah, a little bit of sweet clover and some of our new hay fields.
And then we did end up purchasing some green feed from a neighbor as well. When we say green feed, that's a...
Yeah. I forget what they call it in the States. Like grain hay, people call it. This stuff is barley.
Yeah. So we have kind of a mix of things going on, but the priority being for the cow to get 2.5% to 3% of their body weight.
3%.
3% of their body weight. So to make it simple, for a 1,000-pound cow, they need 30 pounds of feed, right? 3% would be 30 pounds of feed. Each bale weighs about, well, depending on the feed, weighs anywhere from, I don't know, 1,200 to 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, this year these bales are heavy. They're 1,500. It's probably heavier than what our truck needed. But
which is another issue.
the baler was baling good, and I didn't want to change it.
But that's how we calculate how much feed each cow gets. Bobby's already starting to harp on me about counting bales. One of my least favorite jobs, but it's that time of year where we start to wonder if we're going to make it until May with the amount of feed that we have on hand. And a lot of things can affect that, including weather, because when it's yeah, we had a really tough fall. We got like an epic snowstorm on September 30th that not only trapped our cows up in the mountains, but made it so we had to feed. And so we started to use feed earlier than we had anticipated. And then, you know, the crop in general from last summer and how good that was, which this year was a much better year than the year before. 2018 was better than 2019 in that perspective. And so right now we're starting to kind of wonder, okay, so do we need to make plans to find more feed or move our cows around to different areas to graze them more if we can, and stuff like that. So we'll probably have to do the old bale counting, which entails me climbing up on the bales and counting them. That's what that entails. So here's our young cows. Bobby's just putting down a bale for them. So like we said, these are the 2 and the 3-year-olds. They're coming first and second calvers is how we'll say that a lot.
So they're getting 26 pounds of hay, just pretty moderate quality hay. Probably it goes around 10% protein, and then they're also getting 4 pounds of pellets at 15% protein. They're a mill run wheat-based pellet. I think they're a byproduct from the flour making process. Actually, we got them discounted a little bit. They don't have a vitamin package in them, but with 26 pounds of hay and 4 pounds of pellets, that gives them 30 pounds a day with 3 pounds of crude protein. And I haven't factored in the dry matter conversion on that. I don't usually do that.